back out of the gravel and back into the race, maybe with a bit of a knock on the car as well.
Yeah, so they're actually down in last position at the moment. 507, the DTO Motorsport is 41st. They've done 15 laps, and in fact they're 8 laps behind the leader, and they're 4 laps well actually they're on the same lap as the car right in front of them, which is the Dunedin Ecos entry 518, but then in front of those two you've got 4 laps, so that's the problem. When something like this happens in a 41 car field, it stymies your challenge, and you can't afford that. So and what it is, of course, is that it's the tow back. If you get towed back out of the gravel or out of anywhere, there is a 3-lap penalty. So basically the 507 is registered as being last. It's because it's got an extra 3-lap penalty, so that's why it's 8 laps behind the leader. It's really only 5 laps behind the leader, but with that tow back penalty, that's what's stymied it. It's actually last, but it's only 7 seconds behind the car in front of it, so maybe you can get on terms with the 518. It's certainly going quicker than the 518, and then it's a question of seeing just how much you can make up on the cars in front of you, and hopefully you then, without being unsportsmanlike, you hope that some of the cars in front of you will have some problems and you can move up as a result. But no problems for a battle with the Renvales, the Renvale RT 397 who lead, but of course they have not yet made a pit stop, so the first 5 cars are yet to make a pit stop. They're all running fairly close together. There's a 9-second gap from first to second, but then after that they're within a second of each. We've got a lot of talent in that team. Nick Weinrod and Jonathan Hogarth. So they're in 6th place at the moment. They're only half a second behind the car in front of them, which is the Exit 13 car with St John Winter 395. That's going to perhaps be a real advantage later in the race. There are a certain amount of pit stops to be made. Now there's a stop-go penalty for 430. That's because he wasn't tagged out. So in other words, he obviously got the Pink Tiger racing machine got frustrated with waiting for his tag to register, so he just went. And he's got a stop-go penalty. So 4:30. That's Jeremy Webb and Martin Jett. He's going to have to come in and make a stop-go penalty, unfortunately. They're up in 14th place. So watch for the progress of the Vikings. They've now moved up into 4th past the Harvey Racing team. They are just 1 second behind JTR. So the 419 is looking to catch up to the 350 and get itself back onto a podium position. So there it goes, the car with the Viking on the side, going into paddock now. That car is in 4th place. Lovely angle it adopts as it goes into paddock. Nick Weinrod with all that racing experience. And in fact he's just done that. That was the car that he just slipped through on the inside of Druids with. So that's the JTR car. So Nick Weinrod and the Viking entry is now into the top 3, and it's just set. He's about to go past, and he does so. So as he goes into paddock, Nick Weinrod, yes, around the outside, brilliant manoeuvre, very, very quickly through there, and Nick Weinrod goes up into 2nd place. So the erstwhile, everybody else many of the others who made their pit stop under the safety car. I suppose the only advantage is if you make a pit stop under green flag, you're likely not to have to wait at the end of the pits for quite so long. because there was such a huge queue before. So that might be one consideration, I suppose. But still, we're waiting.